guys, I'm Cody with the Damn Fishing Addicts, and on today's video I want to go over different reels. These are all reels that I've used for snagging, that I've purchased for snagging. We're going to go over the ones that haven't worked, that work but maybe aren't so great, and some that I'm really liking right now. I'm really into. We'll start with the worst first. The worst on this table right now is the Bass Pro Snagging Special SS30. You would think with the name Snagging Special that it would be a great snagging reel, and I'm sure it might be if you have a boat. This reel was not made to be cast. If you've seen my previous pin warfare video, whenever I took it back, I decided instead of exchanging it for another one and taking the chance of getting another one that was junk, I would exchange it for a different reel. With the price difference, I was actually able to get two of these. The guy back at Bass Pro's Reel Counter actually recommended them. I had just left a doctor's appointment, was in a hurry to get home and beat the kids home from school. So I didn't do my research like I should have, so that's kind of a shame on me situation. So I can't really blame the guy at the Reel Counter. These are not reels that you can use and snag from the bank. These are trolling reels. And one of the reasons I say you can't really cast it is you have this big brace right here across where you would put your thumb to thumb the spool. You try and cast these, I know myself, I've tried casting it with 4 ounce, I tried casting it with 5 ounce, I tried casting it with 6 ounce. The max range I could get out of it, the max cast I could get out of it was maybe about 40 yards. So, and that was literally at one point, I just tried to sling it to see. I didn't worry about backlash or anything like that. Bird nesting it, nothing. I wanted to try and get it out there, and I got about 40 yards. As far as a trolling snagging rig or snagging reel or anything like that, I'm sure it's probably going to do great. It's constructed well. Everything's nice, thick, heavy metal. It does look like a really great reel, and that's why whenever he showed it to me at Bass Pro, I was like, heck yeah, that'll work. Let's go. Let's get them. You know, I didn't even take the time to check the reviews, look into them, anything like that. So if you're a bank snagger and you are casting, you are having to cast from the bank, I would stay away from this reel. If you are trolling with a boat or snagging from a boat, this is probably going to be a decent reel. This is probably going to be a great reel. I plan on doing some of that later on this season, and I'm going to use these. I went ahead and got 2 poles, 10-foot poles for them, so we're actually going to try it and see how it goes. Next up on this table is the Pin 309 Levelline. I like this reel. I really like this reel. A lot of people really like this reel. The only downside I found to this reel is the retrieve rate. I mean, this is one of those reels that it only has a 3-to-1 retrieve rate. So once you get into spoonbilling, you get a rhythm going. And on this is my reel I use right now, it has a 5-to-1 retrieve rate. So you get in a rhythm, you throw out, you reel up your slack, you make your pull, reel down, make your pull, reel down, make your pull until, you have to reel it all the way in. With this one, what was happening to me is I would throw it out there, I would reel down my slack, make my pull, reel down again, get reset, and I would still have line to reel up. It wouldn't catch up. I could not catch it up. I'd have to sit there and keep reeling. All right, now I'm caught up. Pull, reel down, keep reeling, pull. So the only issue I have with this is the retrieve rate. Other than that, it's a great reel. It's a no thrills, no frills kind of reel. They just give you what you need. It doesn't have no fancy gizmos, gadgets, nothing like that. That's probably why these have been around so long. They do have a very big following. I know a lot of guys that really love these Pin 309s. I snagged with 2 older gentlemen that this is all they'll use. They've got the rhythm down with the 309 and they love it. I've just used to a faster retrieving reel, so I couldn't get in sync with it. If you're new, just starting out, this may work for you. You might be able to get that rhythm with it and you may love it. And it's, like I said, it's a great reel. I just don't like the retrieve rate. I'm going to put it on a catfish rig. fish it off my boat, fish it from the bank, I guarantee it'll be perfect for that. Low-end spinning reels. This one I really debated even putting on the table. Last year I would have put it on this table like that. It would have been first and foremost low-end reel. I don't know if Zebco, which is who makes the Quantums, its quality control has dropped or what it is, but these reels seem to be junk this year. I was able to buy these last year. I bought 2. After we had broken a couple of these, I replaced them with these, and they lasted all season with only minor problems. Broke the handle off one. Call up Zebco, no big deal. They'll send you a new one as long as you're within a year. No questions asked, they'll send you a new one. Broke the anti-reverse. Again, little bitty wire. No big deal. They'll send you a new one. This year, I don't know what the deal is, and I just noticed it on this one when I was setting all these reels up for this video. It is cracked right here. And we had this problem already. This was a brand new reel this year. The spool is an old spool with old line on it. This is the spool that was originally on this reel. Instead of, transferring line, we just swapped spools. But anyway, here nor there. Here's where the handles love to break. This is already a broken handle off this one. And here's where it snapped. Same spot. This one's cracked already. Also this year, I watched a guy fighting about a 15-pound spoonbill. And if you look at our first Spoonbill beginning of the season video, you will see at the end of the video where a guy snaps one off right here. Like I said, I don't know if their quality control's gone down or what, but it seems like these reels have gone just down the tube in the trash. I'm going to have this one checked out. Now, I guarantee you I can call Zebco and I can tell them, hey, this is broke, that's broke, blah, blah, blah. And they'll send me new parts or they'll send me a replacement. But there comes a point when you get tired of replacing parts and get tired of breaking them. My son, maybe he just grew a whole lot over the winter and I didn't realize it, but he's already broke 4 of these. And we've been spoonbilling maybe 2 months. If that, a month and a half. And he's already broke 4 of these. So, at this point, I would say stay away from the Quantum Optic 60s. They just don't seem to have it this year. And like I said, maybe my son just grew a whole lot and I didn't realize it, but I don't know. Anyway, this is the Okuma Fat Cat Special 80 reel. That is another thing. For spoonbilling, I recommend on a spinning setup, get at least a 60 or an 80. That way you have plenty of line, especially if you're down there when the bigger fish are running and the water's really running. You got plenty of line when they make that run. You're not going to be sitting there counting down until you get spooled or run out. Get you a 60, get you an 80, get you 300 plus yards on there, depending on the size and everything, and you won't have that problem. But anyway, back to this reel. This is the Okuma Fat Cat Special reel. You can buy this reel with the 11-foot Okuma Fat Cat rod for like $49.99. It's a great reel. Again, the only problem we ever had is breaking the anti-reverse and breaking the handles. It wasn't something that happened really quickly. It was something that happened over time. So if you're looking to get into spoonbilling and you're on a budget and you just want to try it out and maybe if you like it, you'll upgrade then, I would check out the Okuma Fat Cat Specials. Get the 11-footer. Go out there, have some fun. You'll probably fall in love with this sport, and then you'll be ready to upgrade, and you'll still have a great catfishing rod. Also, if you decide you don't like spoonbilling, it still makes a great catfishing rod. We bought 4 of them whenever they came out, and we have been catfishing with them since, and we've caught many a blues, many a flathead. We've caught all kinds of fish on these. We've even caught striper and stuff with them. So they're a great rod, a great reel. Like I said, eventually you probably will end up breaking the anti-reverse or the handle, but it's another one you can get them replaced. Now on to the ones that I think are the they're the best at this table for sure. I have at this point no reason to upgrade any better. I think these have everything I've been looking for. They have everything I want, and they're holding up amazingly. And that is, we'll start with this one. This is the Pin Fierce 2. I don't know if you can still buy these reels too many places brand new. I think they're phasing them out because they came out with the 3. But I was able to find this one brand new at a smaller bait shop. So you may look around at your smaller bait shops, maybe online, things like that. You may still be able to find some brand new ones. But this Pin Fierce 2 is awesome. It is an 80. I've got to put more line on it. Obviously, it's getting a little low. But it's a great reel. I love the handle on it. That is one big plus that I like about this. A lot of these, if you look, they have a screw that goes, it screws into the handle from the other side. And every now and then this will get loose. Your handle will get wobbly. You have to tighten this back up. This one's a little better. It actually has a screw instead of just a twist knob. It still will back out eventually on you. This one, the handle actually screws on to the reel body. If you look, the handle is actually the threaded part. So it actually screws in. Oh, wrong way. It actually screws in, so while you're reeling, you're actually still tightening. As you reel, it's tightening. So you don't have to worry about that coming loose. You don't have to worry about it being in the middle of fighting a fish, and next thing you know, you got a wobbly handle or nothing like that. The only downside I've really seen to it, and it's not a big gripe, it's not a big deal, it doesn't really matter. It's actually something I need to stop doing. A lot of times when you're really catching spoonbill and you're really into the fish, I know myself and I know my buddies, we have a tendency to hold on to the reel handle and hold on to the rod here and make our pulls. And sometimes if this reel handle is, say, around here, and you make that pull, you'll loosen it. But as soon as you start reeling, it tightens right back up, and it's no big deal. So that's the only thing I've found that's kind of it's caught me a couple times where I'm like, oh, what was that? But again, not a big deal, not a deal breaker. I'd buy 5 more of these probably if I could find them and I had the money, unless I could find the 3s. Now this is the Pin Fierce 3. One of the upgrades they did is obviously the spool on them is cut a little different design. Does absolutely nothing for fishing. They're both 80s, so it does absolutely nothing for your fishing. But from the research I've done and the things I've been told, this one has like a nylon or felt drag system, where this one has carbon fiber disc drag system. This one has a little bit better drag system. There's a guy on YouTube, I cannot remember his name or his channel off the top of my head, but if you look up Pin Fierce 2, 3, and the Battle, he tears all 3 of them completely down and shows you the difference. And the only difference between that I remember from the Fierce 3 to the Battle, which is a little bit more expensive, is that this part here is metal on the Battle, where it's composite or plastic on this one. I bought this one with the Levelline system. This will do absolutely nothing for you spoonbilling. The Levelline system will not help you spoonbilling, but if you're like me, I'm going to use this after spoonbill season for catfishing, and so that'll come in handy. It was only like an extra 30 bucks difference between getting it with the Levelline and getting it without. So I went ahead and opted to get it with it. If you don't know what the Levelline system is, I'll go over it real quick right now because I thought it was kind of cool and I didn't know nothing about it. Apparently this has been technology that's been around for years. I've just been living under a rock or something, but what it is it basically turns your spinning reel into kind of like a bait caster. If you've ever used a bait caster, you cast out your bait, then you flip this to free spool, you turn this little clicker on the side, and when you get a bite and the catfish starts pulling, especially blues because they'll just grab it and run, it starts clicking. You hear that clicking, you know you got a fish. You flip it back into gear and you start cranking and you reel your fish up. That's basically the concept of this. You flip this up and now it disengages the main drag system and it now is nice and easy. And you can adjust the tension right here to how tight you want it. Now once you get a bite and the fish is on there and running, you can either A, flip this forward, and now your drag is reset to where you had it, to the heavier setting. You can start reeling, or you could just start reeling and it will automatically engage it itself. That was kind of a cool feature that I thought was worth spending the extra money to get. Again, it's not going to help you spoon billing at all. So if you're just building a dedicated spoonbill rig, get the Fierce 3 without it. It'll save you a little extra money. But I think if you're going to be using it after spoonbill season, like I said, for catfish, it's a good option to have. The only complaint I have on the Fierce 2 or the Fierce 3 is the paint. Maybe it's because I'm a gun guy and I know about Cerakotes, Duracoats, powder coatings and all that, and how tough they are and how tough they can be. The coating they put on these, I feel, is the only place these reels are lacking. It's the only complaint I got, and it's not a major gripe. It just, whenever I look at my, it's more expensive to me reel, because this reel here was $130. This one I paid like $85 for. That's kind of expensive when you came from $25.95 Walmart reels, you know. So that's the only complaint I think we need to improve on. This one isn't so bad yet, but it is showing a little wear. Of course, I've only had that reel for about 2 weeks. This one I've had for about a month, and mind you, I'm very careful with my gear, especially, like I said, when it's more expensive gear. We set these down, like we're fishing on a boat ramp, so we just lay them down, try and lay them down always with the rod or the crank handle up, and still, if you look, we're getting all kinds of scuffs, the paint scratching off all over it. So even on the back side there, there's some wear marks on the edges here. That's the only thing I would even complain about if Penn or if anybody was to ask me what's one thing you could find to complain about this reel. That's it. I wouldn't have nothing else to complain about anywhere else on the reel. So, like I said, I just wanted to make a quick video going over some of my snagging reels, some of the reels that I've used. Maybe it'll help you make a decision on what reel you should get. There are some great reels out there that I don't have. I've got a friend that runs a Daiwa, absolutely loves it. I've got a friend that runs an Eagle Claw. He likes it, even though he's having a little bit of issue with the handle now, but he really likes it. I've got a friend that runs Penn Squall. Bait casters, absolutely loves them. Dude can cast like no other with them. So there are other reels out there that are great and even maybe better than some of these. These are just the ones I personally own, I personally use, and I have experience with. So take that for what it's worth. Hope this will help you. Like I said, if you're looking to get a snagging reel, the main things I would consider is try and find something that at least has a metal handle. I think that'll be a big thing because you won't break them off as much. And try and find one that, if you're going spinning, that is at least in a 60 or an 80 or a 6,000 or an 8,000, depending on what company you go with. They might number it different. And if you're going with bait casting or casting reels, make sure, do your research. I mean, check reviews, everything. Check the paperwork in the box. Make sure, one, that it's an actual casting reel, not a trolling. And check the reviews and make sure before you spend the money, because a lot of times the casting reels are way more expensive. Make sure you know what you're getting before you buy it. Don't end up doing like what I did and just go, oh, it's a casting reel. Sounds good to me. I'll get it. And then you end up with something like the Bass Pro Snagging Special. Or you get a great reel, but you didn't check the retrieve rate, and now it's got a really slow retrieve rate, and now it's going on catfish pole too. So anyway, hope this helps you. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and hopefully we'll see you at the dam.